The story begins with a young woman named Lisa, who worked the late-night shift at a McDonald's in a small town. Her shift usually ran from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. The nights were quiet, except for the occasional late-night customer. Lisa didn't mind until strange things began happening. It all started with a flickering light in the back storage room, a light that always seemed to flicker only during her shift. The store had an eerie vibe at night, but she shrugged it off as just her imagination. One night, around 2 a.m., a strange customer walked in. He was tall, with disheveled hair and clothes, looking out of place. His eyes were hollow, and he stared at Lisa without blinking. He didn't order anything, just stood there for what felt like hours. Lisa tried to remain calm, asking if he needed anything, but the man didn't respond. After what seemed like an eternity, he turned and left without saying a word. Lisa felt a cold chill as the door shut behind him. After the man left, Lisa tried to shake off the uneasy feeling, but strange things continued. Around 3 a.m., she heard noises coming from the play, era sounds of children laughing and footsteps running around. But the play area was empty. Heart pounding, Lisa cautiously approached the area, but saw nothing out of the ordinary. The laughter stopped as soon as she got close. She felt a cold draft pass by, but the doors and windows were closed. Something was not right. Later that night, Lisa received a drive-through order, but when she looked out the window, no car was there. Thinking it was a mistake, she cancelled the order, but it happened again and again. Every time she looked, there was no car, yet the system recorded orders. Feeling unnerved, she went outside to check the parking lot, but it was completely empty. The store's surveillance cameras showed no cars either. Lisa couldn't explain it. Just after 4 a.m., the strange man returned. This time, he walked straight to the counter and placed an order in a voice so low it was almost inaudible. Lisa hesitated, but entered the order. She turned to grab the food, but when she looked back, the man was gone. The door hadn't opened, the bell hadn't rung, and the cameras showed no sign of him leaving. It was as if he had vanished into thin air. Lisa's hands trembled as she realized she was alone in the store with something unnatural. As her shift neared its end, Lisa noticed the flickering light in the storage room again. This time, it was more violent, almost like it was about to burst. Gathering her courage, she went to check it out. The room was cold, far colder than it should have been. As she reached for the light switch, she heard a voice whisper her name. Spinning around, she saw no one. But then, in the reflection of a metal shelf, she saw the faint outline of the strange man standing behind her. Panicking, she ran out of the room. The sun was beginning to rise, and Lisa was getting ready to clock out. Just as she thought the nightmare was over, she heard the door chime. When she turned around, the man was there again, but this time he was different. His face was pale, almost translucent, and his eyes were empty. He didn't speak. Instead, he pointed at her, his finger trembling. Lisa froze, unable to move. Then, slowly, the man faded away, leaving behind nothing but an empty store and the echo of his presence. Lisa quit her job at McDonald's the very next day. She couldn't explain what had happened that night, but she knew she would never work the graveyard shift again. When she shared her story with a coworker, they revealed that several employees had experienced strange occurrences during the night shift. The McDonald's was built on land with a dark history, and it seemed that some spirits had never left. Lisa never returned, But the memories of that night haunted her forever.